start attacking them. You start fixing problems. I'm not saying they go away, but you no longer run away from your problems. And a person who's run away from the problems, those are the same people who are looking for faults in you. People who are successful, like yourself, I've made a success of myself. A lot of people haven't made a success of themselves because they're not willing to go into that dark place and figure out why am I so fucked up. So what they do better, and what makes it easier, is to talk about how fucked up you are. And that kind of puts the cross off of them and puts it back on you again. Versus going back in the dungeon and figuring out how can I be better? How can I learn from these people? So that's the dark side of life that people don't, they don't want to face. Alcoholics, womenizers, porn addicts, all these things, it comes from somewhere. Bad character comes from somewhere. And if you're not willing to figure it out, you're gonna always stay in that same dark place.
It's tough from the standpoint of most people don't want to go there because if you've never done it before, it's scary as shit.
Oh yeah.
When you get alone and it's just you and all your fucking demons.
Yeah.
There's no more help. There's no, and you start processing.
Oh yeah.
That fucking shit.
Imagine the conversation I had with myself when I'm 297 pounds. I walk in a cruise. So I was 175. Like I said, I was in the Air Force. Got out, gained 125 fucking pounds, and this big fat loser spraying for cockroach fecal lab. I see this show on Discovery Channel about guys going through Navy SEAL training. And those demons just came back, just fluttered, man. Like, there's 18 guys up there graduating from this hard training. This guy steps up there, this guy, commanding officer, says, "We live in a society where mediocrity is often rewarded. These men up here, these 18 men, they test mediocrity." It's like he was talking directly through me through that TV.
Do you remember, you told me that story, do you remember, if I remember right, this is the time where like you had just got home from work or something and you had just got in the shower.
Oh yeah.
And you had that towel
I had a big ass. I was
barely pitching on.
I was pinching that son of a bitch to sit there.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is exactly how I looked. I had my chocolate milkshake, and I was shit was just all everywhere. This stuff was everywhere. But I didn't give a shit. I'm sitting there watching that, looking at 18 rolls of shit, and I'm like, I'm looking at these guys, all of them white.
Yeah.
And so once again, I got called nigger most of my life when I was growing up. Grew up in a small town in Brazil, Indiana. There's 5 black families. In my book, Can't Hurt Me, there's a picture 12 miles from my house. 12 miles from my house of the KKK burning cross. But that whole town has amnesia. Once I made it famous, the whole town's got amnesia. We don't know about that shit. Spray painted nigger, we're gonna kill you on my car. Oh no, we don't remember that shit. But you remember that shit, I just drove around for fucking 3 months, but you don't remember that shit. Okay. But anyway, imagine the conversation I have with myself.
Yeah.
When I'm now saying, I gotta go to Las Vegas and bet everything on David Goggins.
Yeah.
I was making $1,000 a month. And I said, I'm going to bet everything on being a Navy SEAL. And I hate the water. That conversation lasted for weeks and months until I did something about it. But those hard conversations that you never forget that change your life.
Let me ask you one last question, and we'll take some questions from the crowd. If you guys would ask them some questions, we take some questions from the crowd. My team, if you get some mic runners ready to go real quick, we take 5 or 6 questions if you want. Let me ask you a question. Let's flip to the other side. We talk about the darkness side and the physical side and the mindset side. Talk about the spiritual side of it.
So that's big for me. So people hear my mouth.
Yeah.
They'll never hear me say God's in the vein.
Yeah.
So I like to say, oh my God, you cuss so bad. You must not love God. You must not. Shit. You know what? For a guy that my mom went around, my dad was fucked up. I grew up in a small town that, I had a couple friends, like really good friends, but after that, it was pretty fucked up. For you to get this far and not know God, matter of fact, I want to tell you how much God means to me. So people ask me what my biggest fear is in life. So God has played the #1 role in my life. #1 role. But if everybody talks like a pastor, you're only going to touch a few people. You're going to touch a certain group of people that don't cuss, that came up in a different area. There's a lot of people out here that came from the same area I did, that have a foul mouth. Because why? Life kicked them in their ass.
Yeah.
and they're not willing to change the language that life showed them. So for me to explain myself to people, if I come up here and say, man, it was really hard.
It's difficult.
He was really abusive. And it just hurt. No, man, the motherfucking shit sucked. Because that's how I felt in that moment. I'm not gonna give you anything but how I felt. That's how I felt. So now let's do this. Talking about God. This is how much I love God, okay? And I don't give a damn if you love God or not. But take something from this, please. Let's say you're God, and you're talking to Joe Blow. Okay, he's sitting right here. And there's a long line of people waiting to get into heaven. Long line. I'm 300 pounds. I didn't make the transformation that I made. I stayed that person. So now here's a whiteboard looking at everything, telling Joe Blow what he did, because God knows all. I can't see it because that's between him and Joe Blow. My turn comes if I got my chocolate milkshake, boxing meeting donuts, I'm fat, Ecolab uniform, sit down. God says, how you doing, David? I'm doing good. He shows me the whiteboard, says David Goggins, February 17, 1975. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is cool, man, yeah. He has all this shit on this board. And I'm looking at it, and it says Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, this, and all this shit. New York Times bestseller, I'm like, yeah, that's my name, man, but it must be different David Goggins, man, because I was an Ecolab dude, and I didn't do this shit.
That's sprayed for bugs.
That's sprayed for bugs. I was a cockroach sniper. So, God looks at me, and I say, that's not me. He goes, no, that was supposed to be you. And God tells me that, well, that was supposed to be you because that's who I made you to be. I'm not going to force you down these different highways.
Right.
These choices you have choices to make. And you chose every soft choice imaginable, and it led you here. So, am I in heaven or am I in hell? Because now I get a chance to see this every day. Now this is what keeps me motivated, okay? Let's back up. I am the David Goggins that I am today, okay? God gave me a fucked up hand, looked at me and said, let me see what the fuck you can do with this hand. Let me see if you can win with this hand. Right. You got a bunch of 2s and 3s and 4s. You ain't got no face cards. Yes. Let me see what you got.
No aces.
But you see, I'm getting happy now. Because that's my new mindset. The fat boy mindset, those 2, 3s, 4s, and 5s, kicking rocks, poopy pants. I need a fucking break, man. No, I don't need a break. I don't need shit. That's me now. So now, I don't have no motion. I got protein shake. I'm rolling up. God sits me down. And I'm looking at God right in his eyes. Not to be intimidated, not for like, I bow down to God. But right now I'm looking at his eyes because I know I did the best I could. Gave all I had. Whiteboard pops up. I'm looking at, Navy SEAL, blah, 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 blah. The very bottom, God has perfect penmanship. But the very bottom is scribble. And I'm like, why is it so different? Why do you have the scribble right here? God looks at me and says, I'm all knowing. Never gotten this wrong in my entire life. I know exactly what you're capable of and exactly what you can do. But not even I knew that you're capable of doing what you just did. So that's what that scribble was.
Yeah.
So, only person I want to, I almost said motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Only person I want to impress in this world is God. Yeah. So when I come up here and I say, don't follow me, don't do this, don't do that, I don't give a shit. Because I know that I've done the best I can with what I have. Yeah. And I know that someone up there is looking down and saying, all right. So yes.
You're literally trying to break the mold when you get to heaven, where you literally said to him, or he says to you, I didn't even know that you could do this shit that you went and did. That's what keeps you that personally motivated.
Personally motivated. That visualization, well, probably not true.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be true.
Right.
It's something that I look at every day and say, okay, can you do more?
Is that part of like, how you say,